Welcome to the latest installment of the 15-Minute Drill Podcast. I'm Walter Johnson, and today is Saturday, October 8th, 2016. Just a few seconds into Saturday, October 8th. And in this edition, I'll talk about Lee County's rout over Houston County, the number one team in all of Class 6A in the GSSA, and Worth County pulling out a big win on the road to open Region 1 AAA play in the GSSA, and Deerfield Windsor picking up a critical win in the GISA, plus score some other games within the Southwest Georgia Network coverage area and a little bit beyond that. So, not much time to waste, so let's get started, and we'll start with what happened in Leesburg as the Lee County Trojans at 5-0 took on the 6-0 Bears from Houston County High School in a battle of undefeated teams in GHSA Region 1 6A, and Houston County not only entered that game at 6-0, but they were also ranked number 1 in the state, according to many of those polls out there. But in the end, it was Lee County proving why they're one of the best teams in the state as they cruise to a 55-29 victory over Houston County. And Lee County jumped out to a quick 15-0 lead to start the game, and they scored on their opening possession the first quarter, their opening possession of the entire game. And then Houston County responded by scoring 22 unanswered points, or 22-15 lead, and Lee County scored a touchdown to pull the one, only to miss the extra point, make that the 2-point conversion. It would have given that, and if it weren't for that missed 2-point conversion, Lee County would have been on top, 23-21, late in the first quarter, or in the second quarter, instead of being down 22-21. But nevertheless, Lee County exploded for 40 unanswered points to take a 33-point lead at the end of the third quarter, 55-22. Houston County did score a touchdown just 8 seconds into the fourth quarter, but by then it was already a running clock as Lee County improves to 6-0 on the season, but more importantly, they go to 1-0 in GHSA Region 1 6A with a 55-29 win over Houston County. And as for the Bears from Warner Robins, they followed to 5-1 overall, suffered their first loss of the season, and they dropped to 0-1 in GHSA Region 1 6A. And it was a rough night for a lot of teams in the greater Houston County, Perry, Warner Robins area. And however anyone wants to define it. And for those people who are listening for the first time, Houston County is in Middle Georgia, just south of Macon-Bibb County, city of Macon-Bibb County. In any case, in the north side of Warner Robins, ranked number 2 or number 3 behind Houston County, fell on the road to the Valdosta Wildcats in Valdosta at Bates Moore Stadium. And the Wildcats picked up a 14-6 win and a defensive struggle. And Valdosta had 2 weeks to overcome their first loss of the season to Colquitt County and out of Class 7A. And the Cats bounced back in a big way, and they were dependent on their defense. And then that defense got the job done against the north side of Warner Robins. Final score, Valdosta 14, north side of Warner Robins 6. And next week, Lee County heads up to Warner Robins to take on north side. And wouldn't surprise me to see a fired up north side of Warner Robins squad at McCall Talbot Stadium in Warner Robins next week. And we move on to Region 1 5A, where the Thomas County Central Yellow Jackets headed to travel to Warner Robins and held off a scrappy Warner Robins Demons team. Final score: Thomas County Central 33, Warner Robins 22. And Thomas County Central snapped a 2-game losing streak, and they improved to 5-2 overall and go to 1-0 in GHSA Region 1 5A. And Yellow Jackets will have a bye next week and will face Bainbridge next week. And correction. And Thomas County Central will travel to Veterans next week. And up in Kathleen, Georgia. And speaking of Veterans, and they fell on the road to the Bainbridge Bearcats down in Bainbridge. Final score: 31-6. Bainbridge wins easily. Only the second win overall against 4 losses for the Bearcats. But it's a big win because that win over Veterans makes the Bearcats 1-0 in GHSA Region 1 5A, tied with Thomasville. And the Bearcats will get a well-deserved week off before they travel to Thomas County Central next week. And if Thomas County Central can get by Veterans next week, and that would set up a big battle for first place at the Jackets Nest on October 21st. And on all 8 teams in GHSA Region 1 4A, including the American Sumter Panthers, the Cairo Makers, and the Westover Patriots from right here in Albany, Georgia, all had the week off in their 5 schools from Region 1 4A. Also includes 5 schools from Columbus. And moving on to GHSA Region 1 AAA, and the Worth County Rams traveled to Adel, Georgia to take on the Cook Hornets in a battle of 3-3 teams. And in a seesaw battle, it was Worth County and pulling out a 37-30 win over Cook. And that makes Worth County 4-3 overall and 1-0 in GHSA Region 1 AAA. And while Cook falls to 3-4 overall and 0-1 in GHSA Region 1 AAA. Next up for the Worth County Rams. And Worth County's off for next week. And they'll return to action against the Darty Trojans from Albany on October 21st. And Monroe and Darty will face off against each other on Saturday, October 8th. That's tonight, and that's just in a matter of hours. Believe it or not, 7 p.m. kickoff from Hugh Mills Stadium. And the Tornadoes will not only try to claim a city championship with the victory over Darty, but even more important, the Tornadoes will try to go 1-0 in GHSA Region 1 AAA with a win over Darty. And Monroe's 2-2 overall. Darty comes in at 1-4 overall in 2016. Darty's only win came against Albany High. And moving on to Region 1 AA, Albany High still winless. Albany High falls to 0-6 and 0-1 in GHSA Region 1 AA after Fitzgerald cruised to a convincing 48-7 victory over Albany High. And down in Quitman, Georgia, the Berks County Trojans bounced back from a tough loss to Chris County and battled undefeated team 16-14 by holding on to beat Early County 18-14. And Berks County holds off Early County. And Early County, like Albany High, also winless on the season. Bobcats fall to 0-6-1 overall and dropped to 0-2 in GHSA Region 1 AA. And And it was Thomasville, and Thomasville defeated Berrien 21-10 down in Thomasville, Georgia. And just the second win of the season for the Bulldogs and new head coach Zach Grage, G-R-A-G, spelled G-R-A-G-E. And that makes Thomasville 1-0 in GHSA Region 1AA. And they're 2-3 overall. And we got some more scores here coming up. And go to GHSA Region 1 Single A. And starting with a Thursday night contest. It was down in Camilla, Georgia. Mitchell County, Centennial Field, and Randolph Clay. The 28-22 winner over Mitchell County last Saturday. And a return to Centennial Field and blasted Baconton Charter 76-21. And Randolph Clay obviously is the team to beat at this point. Randolph Clay now 6-0, 7-0 on the season, and still in first place in GHSA Region 1 Single A. And Terrell County trounced Stewart County 43-8. Big win for the Green Wave out of Dawson. And Seminole County, a convincing 48-14 winner over Calhoun County. And a big win for Seminole County over Calhoun County. Snapped the 2-game losing streak. And Seminole County is now 3-2-1 overall, as in 3 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie, which came against Early County. And also improved to 3-2 in GHSA Region 1 Single A. And some other scores. Another score in GHSA Region 1 Single A. Miller County pitched a 12-0 shutout win over Chattahoochee County. And a big win there for the Miller County Pirates out of Colquitt, Georgia, home of the Swamp Gravy play. And that's a big win for Miller County. And other games of interest in Class Single A on the week of for the week of Friday, October 7th. And Dooley County, an easy 53-7 winner over Hawkinsville. And Taylor County, out of Butler, Georgia, located halfway between Columbus and Macon. And right along U.S. Highway 19, several hours north of Albany, heading toward Atlanta. And Taylor County had a convincing 48-7 win over Schley County. And finally, to wrap up this edition of the 15-Minute Drill podcast, Deerfield Windsor picked up a big win in GISA Region 3 AAA play after they defeated the Tift Area Panthers out of Chula, Georgia, the tiny town of Chula, Georgia, in northern Tift County. Final score 35-13. Deerfield Windsor winner over Tift Area, and they remain undefeated in GISA. The Knights from Albany, or Deerfield Windsor, remain undefeated in GISA Region 3 AAA play. Also, the Valwood Valiants and outlasted the Southland Raiders from Americus, Georgia, 24-20. The Valwood Valiants from Valdosta coming up out on top. And Crisp Academy crushed Central Fellowship out of Macon, Georgia, 48-0. The final score. And finally, in a game that was moved up to Thursday night, and due to the pending arrival of Hurricane Matthew, the final score was Terrell Academy 42, Georgia Christian 13. And on that note, then that's going to wrap up yet another edition of the 15-Minute Drill podcast. And remember, you can follow the 15-Minute Drill on Twitter at SWGA Network, and on Spreaker at SWGA Network 12345. That's SWGA Network 12345. I'm your host, Walter Johnson. Thank you for listening. Have a good weekend.